Hi guys, happy 2018. It's about 10 o'clock my time when I'm doing this video. My kids just went to bed and I just realized I haven't done a video in a while, and a lot has changed over the last time I did my video, and I kind of just wanted to, I guess, update you guys and touch on some bases about how Imagine Play is doing and kind of the changes that's happening with us this year and what we're kind of doing as far as 2018 is concerned. I'm really tired, so I'm a little bit, I guess all over the place. That's the reason why I'm looking forward to going to bed and taking a shower, but I got my coffee and everything just so I can do this video. So hopefully I just do this all in one take, so it's not going to be perfect or anything like that. So I have my little notes right here, okay? First off, I just want to say thank you to all the people that come in all the time and tell me how much they love Imagine Play. You guys are the people that really make it worth it, and I especially thank all of you guys that take the time to actually write us reviews, because those really help us, especially if it's a positive review, because then it brings more moms and more dads that just like you that love Imagine Play into our doors. I really just want to touch bases on these videos based off of reviews that we get that's 3-star or under, which is what I consider a bad review. And just what people are saying, and then also kind of how we are basically dealing with those reviews and changing how their experience or somebody else's experience would be in the future if they were to come into Imagine Play. A lot of the things I've heard is that our staff is not friendly or that we're really distant. I definitely get if you're coming into Imagine Play for the first time, maybe if you don't interact with us very often, and you might be coming during a time where we're really busy, or maybe you just caught us during a bad 5 minutes. Maybe we did come off as maybe being distant or unfriendly or something like that. So really what I'm doing to kind of help with that is that I met with my staff, and we did a whole team meeting, and I just said, hey, this is some of the things that people are saying about us. What can we do to appear more friendly, or what can you do as a person, as a team member here at Imagine Play to be more interactive and to give better customer service when somebody walks in the door. So I did have a talk with my staff regarding that, just to kind of talk about what we can do to be more welcoming to people that come in that maybe not see us all the time. And also you have to keep in mind too, some of my staff, this is their first job, and what I didn't realize was there's a lot of things you have to train people that have never been in the workforce before. So things that you think is kind of common sense to do, they don't know how to do because they have never had a job before. So those are the things I'm kind of dealing with too. So it's just kind of like, they're just gonna learn along the way, and we just have to train them to be better, For instance, I had an incident last weekend when I wasn't there, where one of the younger staff members didn't know what to do when a mom complained to her about other kids being rowdy. She didn't have that type of authoritative, manner about her, so she didn't know what to do in that situation. So I had to sit down and talk to her and say, hey, this is what I would do in this situation, and then so for the next time she knows, So just simple things like that. You just kind of forget that you have to talk to your staff about. So the other thing we talk about is that people say that we're small and that we're only good for toddlers. I started to sit down and say, okay, I can't change the fact what our size is, and I really only developed Imagine Play for toddlers because I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I wanted a place where my toddlers can go to, and I knew other moms wanted a place where their toddlers can go to. That's the reason why I developed Imagine Play. So then I started thinking about our marketing and our approach to how we display Imagine Play to social media and on our website and on website descriptions of other places. And I started to realize that I put out there that we're such this broad type of play place. It made it sound like any kids could come, and maybe it made us sound like we were more than what we really were. So I told my husband, we need to sit down and start thinking about our description and how we could change that, because what you really need to do is set people's expectations about you. So I went through and I changed our websites to say what we really were. We're a cozy indoor play area that is meant for 6-year-olds and under, right? So now when they come to our website and they read that, they say, oh, now they get it. They expect that we're gonna be small and that we're made for 6-year-olds and under, right? So hopefully when they read that and they come, they won't be surprised or shocked, and they won't write a review making it sound like they were surprised or shocked or disappointed. The other thing we get all the time is pricing. People either say they can't afford us or they feel like we're too expensive. We understand that when we first started Imagine Play, we were set on a specific budget, right? We tried to fill up as much space with that budget as we could. And over time, every single month, you'll see we're going to add more and more toys. We're adding more and more play spaces. So I'm hoping in a year, or if it takes really long, 2 years, it's probably going to take 2 years, guys. I don't know. That the space will be filled out more. There's going to be tons of more things to do. There's going to be a lot more kind of activities that we can rotate in and out, right? And that adds value to the space. So just kind of business 101. You never want to go down on pricing. You want to think about kind of like what you can do to kind of add value to your service. But I sit down and Imagine Play every single day and I look around and I say, we could add something here. We could add something here, and I'm always looking at catalogs and new things that we can kind of add as far as activities go, and we sit down as a team and we talk about Pinterest things and special days we can do, things like that, things like that kind of adds value to space. So adds a good experience, right? So when people come, hopefully they'll say, wow, that was a really great experience. And then they might, and somewhere along the line, maybe they will say that we're worth the price. I don't know. I can tell you we definitely are on par with most of the indoor play places anyway, whether they charge per person, they charge just for the child, you're going to find that you spend pretty much the same anywhere you go. But yeah, as far as pricing goes, you guys just have to remember we have to make a certain amount of money every single day to pay for employees, to pay for rent, to pay to keep the electricity on. I also have a 5-year lease, so definitely, we have to charge a minimum per child to, keep the space around. As a consumer, I totally get what you're saying, but from a business standpoint, it's really something that we have to do what's best for us. So on New Year's Eve, I got this comment that said that we were so chaotic and disorganized. And there's going to be some days where we're really busy. We can't control who comes to the door that day. There are some days that we know that it's going to be really busy, so we try to tell people it's going to be really busy. We try to set the expectation that it's going to be crowded that day. But then also, some of these activities, some of these events, I should say, it's our first time doing that event, So we can't get it perfect the first time, right? Every day is a learning activity for us. In this video, this is basically showing you exactly that every day is a learning curve. We're trying to gather that information, right? And then say, okay, how can we make it better the next time? So hopefully the next time you come to New Year's Eve, it's probably going to be just as busy, but we will be a lot better at running it, right? Because we know what to expect from the first time. So let's just cross our fingers regarding that, Other thing I want to talk about is just how sometimes one person kind of ruins the experience for everybody. I don't know if you guys know about this, but I feel like in business, it's, you're always learning to adapt regarding with problems, right? So one day there might be a problem with one client, and you're like, okay, well, how do we prevent that from happening the next time, right? So for instance, over the weekend, we had a man come in. He was so upset that we made him take off his shoes. And he was so upset to the point where I guess he kind of made a comment about suing us or something like that, right? Well, that kind of sucks, right? Because then it made me take a step back and say, man, that sucks, that he said that, because now it makes me think, okay, even if an adult doesn't bring a child, should I make the adult sign a waiver? Because the waiver basically says you're coming in at your own risk and that we're not forcing you to come in, and if you come in and you get hurt, we're not liable for it, kind of thing, right? So now you're just like, shoot, because of the action and the words of one person, now you kind of have to take a step back and make everybody do, this one thing, or be a lot more stricter on your policy just because there was just one problem with one client. That might not be the feeling of every single person that walks in the door, but that's just what happens, So one client has a complaint, you're just like, okay, great. Not great, but okay, let's take a step back, see what we can do to kind of fix the situation so that way it doesn't happen again. And fixing that situation might be making our policy stricter. So if you see that our policies change from day to day, it's because somebody kind of took advantage of a situation And now we got to change the policy to be even stricter than we were before. Not that we want to, just because we just don't want to be liable for something, and we really want to make sure that we prevent future problems from coming. Because trust me, if one person does it, somebody else will do it, and then you just kind of want to just nip the problem in the bud before it happens. I feel like people think that we're doing a personal attack on them when we make policy changes, and it's really not about that. It's really just we're doing what's best for our business and what's best to keep our business afloat. So I hope that people have that understanding, you know, when they come in